welcome back. If you're new, my name is Donna. I'm so glad you're here. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing y'all what I did to make this newer mailbox look old and vintage like my actual vintage mailbox. My daughter wanted one. They replaced their existing mailbox, and so I had the perfect opportunity to try to see if I could make it work, and I love the way it turned out. So many of y'all loved it as well. So I'm going to show you what I did. Now, because I didn't know what I was doing, and I've never done this before, I've done these techniques, but not on a mailbox to try to make it look so old and vintage. Part of this video will be a voiceover because honestly, I was just trying things and I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I'm just so glad it turned out the way it did. So the beginning of it will not be a voiceover, but then it will begin to be a voiceover. And if you don't like voiceovers, I'm really sorry, but honestly, I didn't know what I was doing. So I love the way it turned out. So if you're interested in seeing how I took a fairly new looking mailbox and made it look old and vintage, then just keep on watching. Okay, so this is the mailbox right here. And I have done the sanding. They had those address stickers on here. They had it on each side and they had it on the front. Originally, I tried to use the heat gun to get the stickers off, but that took forever. So I took the orbital sander with 60 grit sandpaper and I just sanded it all, sanded them off. I didn't care that it left some on, and I just kind of sanded it all over. It's got a dent here on the top, which I don't care. I'm probably gonna dent it up some more. But what needs to be done is, this is plastic, hold on. This is plastic and the flag is plastic. And on the old vintage mailboxes, they are not plastic, they are metal. And what does metal do? It rusts, right? So I'm going to take my Truffle chalk paint and I'm going to paint the inside of the inside part where it's black, and all of this, the flag, I'm going to paint it with my Truffle chalk paint. So when we go to do our rust technique, it will look rusty. So that's where I'm going to start. And I'm going to go ahead and do that today and let that completely dry. And then I'll probably start doing the rest technique. I might even like go over the mailbox in certain places with this Truffle. So when I do the rust technique, it'll be like, this will be darker underneath it. So yeah, so I got my y'all cannot talk. I got my paintbrush. So I'm gonna get these things painted and then I will decide what else I'm gonna do. But for now, I'm just gonna use my Truffle chalk paint. Lord, it's almost dried up. So let me just, and I obviously don't care. I'm gonna try to be neat, but I really don't care if some of it gets on the mailbox. Look, like I just did it right there. Because I can just kind of fan it out. I don't like what I just did there. Let me get a paper towel. I don't like what I just did there. I don't like how I just did that, so. Oh my goodness, did I just learn something? Y'all, some of the best things happen from accidents.
It's not
So I'm really liking the way, like, rubbing on some of this chalk paint and then taking a damp paper towel and just rubbing it in is like making it look really aged. And it's okay that one side might be worse than the other side because it might be more in the elements than the other side.
Waking up to a brand new day in between your sheets, breaking up in the best of ways, and I'm back again on the street. But then out of the blue, a wind starts blowing in ways so new, a world more exciting than mine is holding up a great big welcome.
All right, gonna let this dry and then we will start our rust technique. Okay, so now I'm taking my Truffle and this stencil brush and I'm trying to just make some heavier, random, darker areas. And I will just kind of make it heavier like in the corners, around the rim of the mailbox, around the nail holes of the mailbox, anywhere that naturally water might stand or gravitate toward. There's really no rhyme or reason, just making it look old and rusty. And then I swapped to my regular brush and just started going around the edges and just putting it on there in any random pattern and just kind of smoothing it out and just kind of getting it all in the lines and the grooves. This is just your artistic work. And then I would, as you see, I would just kind of spread it out and just kind of darken it up. Just trying to make it look old and rusty because we are going to go over this with our cinnamon technique and all this is going to make sense. So that's what's going on right here.
Your sister says she loves me, wants to share my name. She spoke to Reverend Bixby, they've already set the date. So I'm working up the guts to tell her I'll never say I do, 'cause I've just got.
So now I'm taking my antique wax glaze with this stencil brush and I'm just going over it in random spots again, no rhyme or reason, just making some darker areas, smudged, just kind of fanning it out. Again, I don't know what I'm doing, I was just playing with it. Now we're gonna have our cinnamon and I like to use this clear glue. I get it from the Dollar Tree and I just poured the glue in one thing and the cinnamon in another and I'm sticking my brush in the glue and then I will dip it into the cinnamon. And we're gonna focus on the heavy areas first that we did the truffle paint. And y'all, this is where you just can't mess up. You just keep going over it. We want this thing to look so rusty. If you feel like that some of your cinnamon's not coming off, you can dip your brush back in your cinnamon, go back over your glue. You really can't mess it up. Now, I did learn a little trick while I was doing this that I really liked. Was when I had after I'd got the majority of the cinnamon off on the mailbox, I took what was left on my brush and just kind of swiped it over back and forth along the mailbox, and that even made a great look. So after it completely dries, which does not take long, I take it outside and look at this, y'all. Look, does that not look like real rust? It feels like rust, it looks like rust. It's amazing. So now I'm gonna take my Krylon clear lacquer spray and I'm just gonna coat this sucker down. Just spray it all over, just a couple times and let that dry and you have a finished mailbox.
Some might say that I'm a loner, but I just call it being free. I am my heart's only owner, or at least I used to be. 'cause now a wildfire is raging deep inside.
So, how did I do? I think it looks great. And I love the unlimited possibilities of styling this mailbox for all the seasons. This is a piece that you don't have to pull out just for Christmas or just for fall, but you can use it for all the seasons. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspires you to be on the lookout for mailboxes and work your magic, because you can do it. It's very simple and you really can't mess it up, because, I mean, the worse it looks, the better, I think, but that's just my opinion. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye y'all.